Okay, so I'm about a year late, but I decided to share this story, considering that it's been a year. But before I get into the basics of it, I'm going to start from the beginning. I'm going to try not to make this long-winded, just get right to the point. When I was 16, I got invited to be a production assistant for Earth, Wind & Fire, and my dad is a sound engineer, and he's been doing sound for them for a long time, and they needed a production assistant, so he suggested that I do it. Around the time when we got to LA, which was at the end of the tour, which is also around the time I started growing my hair out, I met a friend of my dad's named Deet Singletary. Deet Singletary was an image consultant. She pretty much helped L.A. Reid with LaFace Records. She's worked with Tony Braxton, TLC, Usher, a whole bunch of other artists that, you know, especially us 90s kids, grew up on. My dad shared with her that I wanted to sing, and I sang for her, and she also heard me sing with, at the time, his name was Vadim, and he was the acoustic guitar player in Earth, Wind & Fire. And we were singing in the hallway, and I was just like freestyling, just doing some random stuff, and that's when she heard that I actually could sing. Well, time went by, and after I got off the tour, I turned 17, and I kept in contact with her, and she became one of my best friends. She knew everything about me. I would confide in her about so many things, and she would give me such wisdom and insight, and which gave me an advantage for certain situations that I was faced with later on in life. And because she shared with me some things, I was able to avoid it. At one point, she came to stay with us for a couple months because she was in between a moving situation, and that's when I would take her to the living room, which was when I first got started into the poetry scene when I was about 19. I would take her to the B-side. She was actually the one who filmed Suffering Employees. Along the lines, somewhere in between that and after she went back to LA, her and my dad started this company called Behind the Access, and he asked her to come along and help out, and so she became my business partner and also my co-manager, because my dad is my manager. Yeah, she had a lot of things, ideas set up, and she just had this vision for me, and she was one of my biggest cheerleaders, besides my mother. She's the number one, but she was always sticking up for me and getting me together in ways that, there are ways that you talk about people, there are ways, it's not what you say, it's how you say it, even in my personal life, there's just a lot of things that she really seasoned me on, just as a human being, not just as an artist. Fast forwarding to 2009, going into 2010 of December, Christmas actually, I got my MacBook, and I had all these ideas together, and I decided to put out my, I started forming 8, the mixtape. And around this time, prior to that was summer, and I started tweeting, because I thought Twitter was like the stupidest thing ever, and then I just became addicted. And then I started finding all these celebrities on Twitter, and so one of them was Erykah Badu that I started following, and at the time she had like maybe 75,000 followers. And I'm like, there's no possible way that she would ever see any of my tweets. So I never even bothered to tweet her. So I'm putting together this mixtape around January of 2010. I was sitting in school one day, and I tweeted, I'm in class writing a song about how miscommunication deteriorates relationships while listening to Window Seat by Fat Belly Bella. And she tweeted me back and said, push. Like, my phone blew up because I didn't see the tweet, but then when I saw it, I was like, oh my god. And I was like, thank you. And I said, by the way, while I have you, I said, I'm putting together a mixtape for you. And she goes, okay. hey. She said, you wouldn't happen to be the young man that sang That Hump on YouTube? And by this time, like, my eyes are watering up and I'm just like freaking out, but I'm trying not to freak out because I'm in class. And she said, you know, you're beautiful, you're wonderful, and things like that, and I like you a lot. And then she started following me, and then it was just a wrap from there. So, of course, I shared that, you know, my mom, my dad, DeVette, and things like that. And, you know, in the meantime, me and DeVette and my dad are putting stuff together, you know, trying to get everything, you know, as far as like trying to put a tour together, trying to get, you know, music. Now, mind you, because I record in my room, I have no boundaries as far as time and things like that. So I would record and record and record and record. And I'm the type of person that I'm not a hit maker. I admire people who have songwriting down to a science where they can say, well, we're going to write a hit and it's catchy and it works and it becomes a hit. And me, I'm not that kind of artist. I'm not that kind of writer. Like, I need something to drive from, or something that, you know, and I don't make my songs catchy on purpose. It just comes out that way. But anyway, I recorded maybe about like 3 or 4 projects worth of songs, and I sent them to DeVette. And she put together 11 songs, and 2 of those songs she and I kind of wrote together, I guess you can say. B and Freestyle Soul. And she actually picked out the track for Freestyle Soul, and it was one of those moments where she was kind of like trying to pull it out of me. She's like, I need you to tell a story. Like, I need you to do this. I need you to do that. Like, just think, you know, what is it that you want people to know about you? And then that's where Freestyle Soul came from. And then we were talking about being ourselves and things like that, and how you want people to focus on your music and not this and not that. And then that's where B came from. Yeah, so we did all that together. Okay, so fast forwarding to Erykah's birthday of 2010. I released on Valentine's Day I released the clean version. On her birthday I released the Annie Don't Wear No Panties edition. One Sunday morning, I don't know how she got it. I know I DM'd her, and in between the time when she first acknowledged me and started following me into that time, we would randomly tweet, like, briefly. And so, anyway, one Sunday morning, one of my brothers calls me and says, oh my God, did you hear, are you alright? And I'm like, what are you talking about? He was like, oh, you ain't checked Twitter. I go to Twitter, she has blown up my timeline and my mentions. Like, she has tweeted the link. She's like, oh my God, it's phenomenal. I love it. I'm floored. Blah, 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 blah. I could not focus that morning in church. Like, I might as well just not have went because my heart was just racing. Well, anywho, some time goes by. We still tweet randomly. Mind you, I'm still, you know, I didn't really promote the project. You know, I just put out Incarcerated Intuition and called it a day. I'm still trying to focus on my stuff. So, the next year comes, and there's this random tweet, and she goes, looking for Durand Bernarr. I'm like, okay, let me not freak out. And then my timeline everybody start freaking out. Oh my God, Erykah's looking for Durand. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. So I said, I'm here. It was like 4 hours later, and then she texted me her number. She said, text me. So we text for a second, and so that was that. You know, she said she loved how my harmonies are so warm, and, you know, things like that. So a couple days later, I'm like, okay, I want to talk to her. So I called her phone, and it went right to voicemail. I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna leave no voicemail. So a couple days later, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna call again. So I called her, and she answers the phone and goes, peace, this is Erykah. And I'm like, and I don't know what came over me, but like, something, I might as well have been sedated, because I was like, hi Erykah, how are you? This is Durand. She said, oh hey, how are you? I said, I'm fine. I said, I'm not interrupting, am I? And she was like, child, I'm feeding one of the babies and I'm giving the other one a bath. What are you doing right now? I was like, well, I'm just at home. She was like, well, maybe you can call me around, she said, well, where are you at in the world? I said, I'm in Cleveland. She said, okay, well, can you call me at midnight my time? She said, is that too late for you? I said, no, I got all the time in the world for you. So, hung up the phone. Mind you, I'm just like, oh my God, like, I just spoke to her on the phone. Jesus God. I call her back at 11:59. And we spoke for about 20 minutes. She shared with me how, she was in theater, because I was in a production as well at the time. And matter of fact, no, I was in Guy on Trombones again. And that was the second time that we did it. She was telling me, how she wanted me to come to Dallas and audition for the band and see how I blend with the girls and blah, 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 blah. And she said, I just want you to know I'm coming for you. I'm like, okay. And for the next, month or so, she would text me randomly, I'm coming for you. It would be 4 o'clock in the morning, and she would text me, I'm coming for you. And I'm like, look, lady. I don't know what this is about, but, yeah. Okay. So, early March, if I'm not mistaken, she calls me and she tells me, that her manager's going to give me a call and we're going to work some things out because she wants me to do a tour and things like that. Okay. Meanwhile, me, Deet, my dad, we're still hustling, getting this stuff together. We done put together the project. Deet chose the songs for the album. I'm trying to get the artwork done. I'm trying to get out to LA so that I can, get this album mixed. Blah, 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 blah. So, at the time, I'm still working my day job at my pizza spot. Can't cut no lettuce. And so I would talk to her while I was at work, and she would just, as she told me, I'm pregnant with ideas, and she would just come up with all these, oh God. And even the stories that she would tell me about how she met Dizzy Gillespie and Phyllis Hyman and, all these other different legends, that makes me feel like I was born in the wrong generation. For real. Anywho, so March 28th. A Monday. I get a phone call from Deet. And she's like, where are you? And I'm like, I'm at work. She's like, when's your next day off? I said Wednesday. She said, okay, because we have a lot to cover. Oh my God, I have to talk to you. Oh my goodness, there's just so much going on right now. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Okay, I gotta talk to you later. Okay, call me Wednesday and we're gonna talk. I said, what time? She said 2 o'clock my time. I said, okay, I love you. She said, I love you more. Okay, that was it. Tuesday night, I go spend a night over at a friend of mine's dorm. I wake up, I get on Twitter, and I see a tweet I don't know if anybody told you, but Deet passed away.